The following scene is captured by a Ukrainian drone during ongoing surveillance. A Russian soldier suddenly drops his backpack and runs, stumbling repeatedly while looking upward, reacting to an unseen threat. In panic, he discards his weapon and attempts to escape, only to become caught in a barbed wire fence. Disoriented and struggling, he takes time to free himself and crawl away. As he clears the obstacle and tries to withdraw, another drone intercepts his movement, closing the remaining distance. The following sequence is recorded by a Ukrainian observation drone. Two Russian soldiers, identified by dark cavalry-style gear, are seen taking cover behind a large tree in an exposed area. Their position is quickly confirmed and coordinates are relayed to an approaching attack drone. As the drone closes in, the limited cover forces both soldiers to circle the tree, attempting to keep the trunk between themselves and the aircraft. The effort proves ineffective, and the drone conducts an initial strike. In the aftermath, one soldier abruptly stands and runs, leaving his commander behind in visible distress. The remaining soldier appears injured, using a bandage tied around his waist while gesturing upward toward the surveillance drone, seeking acknowledgement that never comes. Moments later, another drone approaches. The soldier moves around the tree, picking up stones and throwing them toward the aircraft in a final attempt to drive it away. The effort fails, and the drone completes the engagement. Minimal cover and delayed coordination often turn static positions into liabilities under layered aerial pressure. A Russian soldier operating an all-terrain vehicle fails to detect an approaching drone until the final moment, leaving no time to evade. According to released footage, Ukraine's Signum unit conducted large-scale drone operations in the Sumy region, deploying more than 30 unmanned aircraft in a single day. The mission focused on tracking and disrupting Russian infantry attempting to establish defensive positions. The video illustrates how quickly ground movement is identified from above. In several sequences, soldiers attempt to flee once detected, but limited equipment and the absence of effective countermeasures sharply reduce their options. Even within wooded terrain, drone operators maintain precise control, navigating obstacles while sustaining continuous tracking of individual targets. The footage highlights recurring tactical challenges on the modern battlefield, where infantry face growing risk when operating without integrated air defense, electronic protection, or coordinated support under persistent aerial surveillance. The footage captures a shattered civilian district under constant observation. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone tracks two Russian soldiers moving into a damaged house, believed to contain a shelter. The approach appears deliberate and quiet. After confirmation, a nearby drone advances without urgency and completes the task. The scene opens over an abandoned agricultural field where a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone detects a lone Russian soldier moving slowly across open ground. After a prolonged walk, fatigue appears to take over. The soldier stops, lies down in the grass, and rests, unaware he is being observed from above. Surveillance continues without interruption. Minutes later, a second Ukrainian drone is directed toward the location. The approach is calm and deliberate, with no immediate reaction from the target. The drone closes distance and completes the engagement. The footage, recorded by a Ukrainian drone, shows a Russian soldier moving through a heavily damaged area. A drone suddenly closes in and makes contact, causing the soldier to fall. Moments later, a technical failure disables the aircraft. In the confusion, the soldier regains his footing and retreats from the area. The footage shows a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone observing a damaged residential area previously under occupation. A lone Russian soldier runs into an underground shelter, seeking cover. Moments later, a second drone targets the position, removing that option. With no protection left, the soldier flees toward a nearby building. Continuous aerial tracking follows, and another drone completes the engagement from above. The scene unfolds along a contested forest edge where fighting has reshaped the terrain. From above, a Ukrainian FPV drone maintains quiet surveillance as a Russian soldier briefly exposes himself from a nearby shelter, revealing the position. The aircraft pauses, confirms the coordinates, and proceeds with a controlled response guided by onboard systems. The footage presents winter operations carried out by Ukrainian drone operators from the 414th Maguire Birds as they continue missions under severe seasonal conditions. Snow blankets open fields, forest belts, and damaged infrastructure, while low temperatures and limited visibility place constant strain on both crews and equipment. Despite these constraints, unmanned aerial activity remains continuous across active sectors. FPV and reconnaissance drones are launched over frozen terrain where battery life shortens quickly and control signals demand careful management. Operators compensate through measured flight profiles, controlled speed, and precise altitude adjustments. From above, the winter landscape becomes a tactical canvas. Footprints, disturbed snow, and subtle thermal signatures often stand out more clearly than in warmer months, revealing movement that might otherwise remain hidden. Several sequences show coordinated drone use. Reconnaissance platforms maintain distance, mapping routes and identifying points of interest before transmitting data. FPV drones then follow along confirmed paths, maintaining timing and spacing rather than rushing the approach. The emphasis remains on verification and control, not speed, reflecting a methodical operating style shaped by experience. Winter conditions do not slow aerial operations. Instead, they reshape them. Snow reduces natural concealment, limits cover, and increases visual contrast when viewed from above. What appears quiet at ground level becomes readable through sensors and optics. These scenes underline how Ukrainian drone units adapt to extreme cold, demonstrating that unmanned systems remain essential tools for reconnaissance, strike coordination, and battlefield awareness even in the harshest environments. The footage captures a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone operating over a snow-covered field after intelligence flags unusual movement across open ground. As the drone closes in to verify the contact, it identifies a lone Russian soldier moving without cover. The approach is deliberate and controlled. When the aircraft becomes visible, the soldier loses balance and drops to the ground. The engagement concludes quickly from above. Persistent aerial surveillance turns isolation and exposure into decisive tactical disadvantages on modern battlefields. The footage opens west of the village of Moshchun, in the Kiev region, where a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone maintains a steady orbit above a dense forest line. From altitude, repeated movement patterns begin to form, revealing a concentrated enemy presence concealed beneath the trees. The drone does not rush. Coordinates are verified, timing is synchronized, and the data is passed forward. Moments later, a coordinated response follows as missile and artillery assets engage the marked area in sequence. From the drone's perspective, the forest absorbs the strikes and then falls quiet. What began as hidden massing ends as disrupted formation. The scene unfolds along a forest belt where a Russian infantry group exposes its position during movement. Ukrainian reconnaissance drones detect the activity and cue an immediate response. A strike follows, dispersing the group before they can regain cover. Nearby, another team stands guard beside a logistics truck. When the drone appears overhead, panic sets in and the formation breaks, but the timing is unforgiving. A separate supply truck moving close to the tree line is intercepted and halted. Moments later, 3 soldiers traveling by ATV near the same sector are identified and stopped in sequence. Close by, a lone soldier beside an armored vehicle is also tracked and engaged. The pattern is consistent, observation leads, coordination follows, and isolated movements become liabilities under constant aerial pressure. The scene unfolds inside a devastated residential zone in Vovchansk, shaped by weeks of intense fighting. From above, a Ukrainian drone surveys the main access road and identifies a Russian ground robot equipped with a machine gun, positioned to control movement into the village. After a brief assessment, the drone executes a precise strike, removing the threat nearby. Along a forest edge, a second Russian logistics robot moves cautiously forward. The drone approaches from the rear and disables it as well. Aerial dominance increasingly limits the survivability of unmanned ground systems in exposed urban terrain. The scene is captured from a steady aerial vantage near Kotlin, west of Pokrovsk, where Ukrainian drones continue routine overwatch of the front line. Below, soldiers from the 152nd Jaeger Brigade raise their flag and reinforce defensive positions after sustained fighting. There is no visible movement forward, only consolidation and control. The moment signals stability rather than escalation, with the line held and monitored from above.